Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If I'm a new face to you, my name is Lauren, and today we are wrapping up my September reading. So I will be sharing how many books I read, the total pages, the genres, and my thoughts and ratings on each of the books I read in the month of September. So grab a drink, grab a blanket, get cozy, and let's talk all things bookish. With hitting my 100 book goal for myself last month at the end of August, this one is just kind of icing on the cake, and I really like. All right, some stats for September, and I will have graphs because I'm a data nerd. I will have graphs to go along with some of these, okay? I was able to read a total of 10 books in September, which is pretty good. I felt like I was a really slow reader in September. I wasn't very motivated. I had a lot of stuff going on. I listened to 2 audiobooks, I read 4 Kindle books, and I read 4 physical books too. In terms of pages, we are talking about 3,100 pages, so a little bit lower than August. But this total of pages accounted for 11% of the pages that I've read for the year so far. So here's that little graph. You can see it's spread out month by month. So September and August, I think, were even in 11%. As for the genre spread, you can tell I was definitely in a cozy fall mood, okay? So I read a total of 3 fantasy books, 2 cozy fantasy books, because those are very different, 2 thrillers, 1 contemporary romance, 1 horror book, and 1 romantasy book. So let's get into my thoughts on each of the books. The first book I read in September you definitely need to go check out, and it is Love Letters and Thirst Tonics by Haley Blackwood. I rated this one 3.75 stars, so I'm essentially just going to give it 4 stars here since creating a graphic for 3.75 stars is ridiculous. In Love Letters and Thirst Tonics, Fiella, who is a vampire shopkeeper of a trinket store in the magical village of Moonvale, finds her life upended when a mysterious magical attack destroys her trinket shop. With the reluctant help of a fellow vampire, Red, sparks begin to fly as they navigate their new friendship and work together to rebuild Fiella's shop, all while discovering that love can bloom in the most unexpected circumstances. I absolutely loved this one, and if you have watched my August wrap-up, you saw that I ended it with a lot of cozy books too, so this one at the beginning of September just really kept the cozy vibe going for me. And this next one did as well, because the second book I read in September was The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, and I rated this one 4.25 stars. In The Spell Shop, Kiela, a reclusive librarian fleeing revolution, returns to her childhood island with her sentient spider plant friend Kaz, and they are accompanied by a trove of stolen or rescued spellbooks. As Kiela opens a secret spell shop and grows closer to her persistent neighbor, she discovers that a mix of magic, jam, and unexpected love might be just what she needs to rebuild her life. This one was absolutely adorable. Plus, my edition had purple sprayed edges, so like, how could I resist? Book number 3 was an ARC, and it was Air by Sabaa Tahir. This one came out on October 1st, and it was absolutely amazing. And I will say, possibly read an Ember in the Ashes series by her as a prerequisite. It's not necessary, but it is cool because we get to see some of the characters come back 20 years later. And I rated this one 4.5 stars. In Air, 3 lives collide as a vengeful orphan, Saoirse, a banished tracker, and Quill, a reluctant prince, are thrust into a deadly game of survival and power as they face a ruthless and unknown killer, unraveling loyalties, and the shadow of a crumbling empire. All 3 must confront their darkest desires and the heavy price of legacy, love, and vengeance. The 4th book I read in September was Throne of Glass by the Queen Sarah J. Maas. And I read this one for my SJM Mossverse reread vlog part 1, and I will link that somewhere here. And as always, I rated this one 4 stars. Very solid. It's been solid like that for me all through my history of rereading these books. In Throne of Glass, notorious assassin Celaena Sardothien is offered a chance of her freedom if she can win a deadly competition to become the king's champion. As she battles her rivals in this competition and uncovers dark evil residing within the castle, Celaena learns that she must rely on unexpected allies to survive and confront the mysteries threatening her world. If you want more of my thoughts on this book as I was reading through it, go watch my reread vlog, but beware, there are spoilers. I usually don't hold back spoilers on these vlogs, and I did not give any warnings on it because, like, yeah, no. Book number 5 of September was The Reality of It All by Alison Specka, and this one was available on Kindle Unlimited. And I actually found this book from Alison's TikTok, where she promotes her books a lot, which, like, love. And it was a really good book. So if you like Love Island or Love is Blind, I think you're gonna really enjoy this book. I rated this one 4 stars. In The Reality of It All, grieving author Calla is duped into joining a reality dating show instead of a writing competition. And she is forced to confront love when she has barely begun healing from the death of her fiance. As she navigates the show's chaos, Calla finds herself drawn to Eli, a troubled actor with a bad reputation, and she risks her heart in the process. Book number 6 of September was Guild by Raven Kennedy, and this one had me hooked, guys. I rated this book 4 stars, and I definitely want to read the rest. This was just like a lot. It was a lot in a book. I don't know why it was so much, but it was a lot and very heavy. Think like female rage, female vengeance. That's this book. In RCLOREN, a woman transformed into pure gold by King Midas and kept as his prized possession begins to question her gilded cage when war threatens the kingdom and shatters her trust in him. As she confronts the deeper and darker truths behind her captivity, Oren must decide whether to remain Midas's treasure or to seek freedom beyond the palace walls, even if that means facing new and terrifying dangers. The 7th book I read in September was Just the Nicest Couple, and I listened to this one on Audible, and I rated it 3.75 stars. In Just the Nicest Couple, when Jake goes missing after an argument with his wife Nina, Nina becomes increasingly worried and desperate to find him. Meanwhile, her friend Lily and Lily's husband, Christian, are hiding a dangerous secret about the night that Jake went missing. And this sets off a tense unraveling of truths as Nina inches closer and closer to unraveling what really happened. And if you are going to read this book, I want to give you one piece of advice. Trust your gut. Book number 8 of September was Crown of Midnight by the Queen once again, and this one was also featured in my reread vlog. Go check it out. And I rated this one another solid 4 stars. In Crown of Midnight, assassin and now king's champion Celaena Sardothien navigates a dangerous double life as the king's champion while also investigating corruption and seeking justice. When some devastating secrets come to light, Celaena is forced to confront her loyalties and make life-altering decisions about who she will fight for in a kingdom teetering on the edge of rebellion. The second to last, or technically the 9th book that I read in September, was The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey, and this one was also available on Kindle Unlimited, and there's apparently a movie about or like based off of this book. I've not watched the movie yet, but I did read the book. I rated this one 3.5 stars, and it was an absolutely crazy zombie horror book. In The Girl with All the Gifts, Melanie is a 10-year-old girl who is highly intelligent and is confined to a cell. And she begins to realize that she is not like all of the other children that she hears about, and that she is treated with suspicion and fear by all of those who interact with her. As the deadly secrets of her nature unravels, Melanie must navigate a world where her very existence could change the fate of humanity. This one was absolutely crazy, and I could not believe how it ended. So please, please, please go read this book. It is extremely thought-provoking, and overall it was just really interesting. It was written in 2014, so like it still feels very, what's the right word? Like timely. The 10th and final book that I read in September was One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware, and I listened to this one on Spotify. By the way, if you didn't know, you can now listen to up to 15 hours of audiobooks on Spotify, which is really nice if you have a premium membership and you are the account holder. In One Perfect Couple, Lila and her boyfriend Nico join a reality TV show on a remote island, competing against other couples for a chance at a cash prize. But when a deadly storm traps the cast on this island with no communication and tensions rise, they quickly realize that this competition has become a fight for survival, where their biggest threat is actually one of their own. And I rated this book 4 stars. So that is my September wrap up. With hitting my 100 book goal for myself last month at the end of August, this one is just kind of icing on the cake, and I've really like calmed down on my reading. I still try to read every single day, but I'm not as pressed to hit my goal, read a certain number of books a month. If you have read any of these books that I mentioned, or if you've added any to your TBR, please let me know in the comments. I would love to chat with you about these books and your thoughts on them. Also, if you have any recommendations for what I should read in October, drop those in the comments as well. If you enjoyed watching the September wrap up, consider giving this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post a new bookish video for you to enjoy every Friday. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me for this September wrap up. Happy reading, book bestie, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Mm-hmm.